I'm here with the Bloodstained Men protest here in Athens, Georgia. I'm trying to raise awareness. I believe that intact genitals should be a universal human right, and thanks to Brother K, I got involved in the movement and started writing about it. And the magazine's owner, Michael Edwards, supports the movement. So we're here to say that everyone deserves a right to intact genitals, whether you're male or female. No matter what country you're born, everyone deserves a right to intact genitals. And I was left intact, and the way that happened was my mom became aware of foreskin being beneficial and not a birth defect from a friend who was given a pamphlet from NOCIRC, from Marilyn Milos's foundation. So Bear was given the information, and he told my mom, hey, you don't need to circumcise, it's not needed. And she remembered hearing one of the professors from Evergreen State University say that circumcision wasn't necessary. But my older brother Michael was born 3 years before me, he was circumcised. And then when she heard about from the information from NOCIRC, from Marilyn Milos, from her friend Bear, she realized that circumcision would be a mistake for me. So she left me intact. I'm incredibly grateful that she did. It's not really a small issue. It's a functioning part of my body. So I believe that everyone has a right to their whole penis, to all of their genitals. Everyone deserves that.
And Joel Edwards, you have published 3, 4, 5 articles on intactivism, on this issue in Organic Lifestyle magazine.
Yeah, I want to say around maybe 3 or 4 articles. I know the one that probably did the best was Celebrities Against Circumcision. I also wrote Circumcision Myths. I'm trying to raise awareness. I have one in the pipeline that should be done within a few days, I think, Nurses Against Circumcision. I was fortunate enough to have Joe Rogan retweet Celebrities Against Circumcision. He retweeted that article.
Your article?
For his followers.
Awesome.
Yeah. He was one of the celebrities in there who speaks out against circumcision. The fact that most Americans have very strong feelings of revulsion and horror at the idea of female circumcision, but not a male circumcision, just shows it's a good example of enculturation. So it's a really good example of just being taught that something's right your whole life and believing it. A lot of Americans don't really believe that they live in a culture, but culture is like being a fish. A fish never discovers water until you pull the fish out of water. Until you go to another country and you see how different things are, you don't realize how much of a culture you have. It's an American cultural practice that needs to stop.
And you want to introduce your daughter to us?
Jalen.
So
my daughter Jalen.
And we met Jalen just a few minutes ago, briefly. And Jalen, you're 10 years old.
I hope to convince as many people as I can that circumcision is wrong.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope to convince, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the wisdom of a child, 10-year-old child. I hope to convince as many people as I can that circumcision is wrong.
Circumcision is cruelty and should never have existed.
It never should have existed. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Joel, I know you're as proud of your daughter as I am of mine.
Full of shit.
What's that, sir?
I was circumcised when I was.
Well, sir, if you give us 30 seconds, we can convince you why that's an inaccurate, false statement. Joel Edwards, you heard the young man curse us and walk off. Why do you think a man won't stop and learn anything new or even argue his position?
Because the procedures are reversible. So once you know that it can't be undone, you're going to be heavily emotionally invested in the procedure being beneficial to you. And medical professionals will try and tell you that reduces your risk of all manner of diseases, and it's just simply not true. But people are really invested in wanting it to have been necessary. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me that way.
And how people can believe that chopping up an infant's penis, which someday will be the source of his greatest physical pleasure in life, how they can think that chopping up that when he's a baby is a matter of indifference to him is bizarre and irrational.
It's literally the most sensitive part of the human body. So it's literally the most sensitive part of the human body. I have my foreskin. It's literally the most sensitive part of my body. But doctors get paid a lot for circumcising a penis. They get paid nothing for leaving it intact. So they have a financial incentive. Yeah, baby boy is born with a $400 bill wrapped around their penis. Does the doctor want that money?